In the fading light of a crisp autumn evening, Jack Harlan pulled his battered pickup truck onto the overgrown driveway of Willow Creek Farm. At 45, life had dealt him a series of blows: the loss of his wife to cancer 2 years prior, the sale of their family home to cover medical bills, and a dead-end job in the city that drained his soul. This farm, but sight unseen at auction for a steal, was his last shot at redemption, a place to till the soil, heal his heart, and rediscover the simple joys of life. But as he stepped out, stretching his weary limbs, a low rumble echoed from the barn. 3 enormous figures emerged, silhouetted against the setting sun. Each woman stood at least 9 feet tall, their broad shoulders and muscular frames casting long shadows that swallowed the yard. Jack's heart seized. Who are you?" he stammered, backing toward his truck. The tallest one, with wild auburn hair tied in a braid and as like storm clouds, stepped forward. Her voice boomed like thunder rolling over the hills. "You're going to have sex with us," she declared, her companions nodding solemnly behind her. Jack froze, his mind reeling. "Sex? Here? With these giants?" Panic surged through him. He had heard whispers of old folklore in these rural parts, tales of hidden folk, beings from another world, but he dismissed them as superstition. Now, facing these colossal women in worn overalls and mud-caked boots, he wondered if he'd stumbled into a nightmare. His hand fumbled for the truck door, but something in their expression stopped him cold. Not menace, but desperation. A flicker of fear in their eyes that mirrored his own. "Whoa, hold on," Jack said, raising his hands in surrender. "I just bought this place. If you're squatting here, we can talk it out. No need for, whatever this is." The women exchanged glances. The shortest, still towering over him at 8 feet. Tilted her head, her dark skin glowing in the twilight, and let out a deep, rumbling laugh that shook the leaves from nearby trees. "Sex," she repeated, softer this time. "It means, bond, in our tongue. Share life. Join our circle." Jack blinked, confusion replacing terror. They weren't human, not entirely. Descendants of an ancient race of giants, they explained, driven from their mountain homes by encroaching developers and fearful townsfolk. This farm had been their refuge for years, a forgotten corner where they could live in peace. Mira, the leader with the auburn braid, Lena, the laughing one with a scar across her cheek, and Kira, quiet and watchful with silver-streaked hair. They had hoped to scare him off with their bold declaration, a mistranslated phrase from their native language meant to imply unbreakable alliance, or threat, depending on the listener. As night fell, Jack didn't flee. Instead, he invited them inside the dilapidated farmhouse, offering what little he had. A pot of coffee and some canned soup from his truck. Over flickering candlelight, their stories unfolded. Mira spoke of losing their kin to human greed, how giants like them were seen as monsters, hunted for sport or spectacle in bygone eras. Lena shared tales of their strength used for good, lifting fallen trees after storms, hauling water during droughts, but always in secret, lest they be driven away. Kira, the eldest, revealed the profound isolation of their existence, how kindness from strangers was rarer than rain in a desert. Jack listened, his own grief surfacing. He told them about Sarah, his wife, whose selflessness had inspired him even in her final days. "She always said humanity isn't about size or strength," he murmured. "It's about what you give when no one's watching." The next morning brought an unexpected turn. While exploring the fields, Jack discovered a hidden grove behind the barn. A cluster of massive, hand-carved stones arranged in a circle, pulsing with faint, ethereal light. "Our hearth," Kira explained. "It sustains us, but it's fading. Without it, we weaken." Jack's mind raced. He had planned to clear the land for crops, to build his American dream from scratch. But as he watched Lena playfully lift a fallen log that would have taken him days to move, a realization dawned: this farm wasn't just his salvation. It could be theirs too. Yet doubt crept in. Rumors in town whispered of monsters on Willow Creek, and the auction papers mentioned disputes over the property. What if helping them cost him everything? Days blurred into weeks. Jack worked alongside the giants, his initial wariness melting into camaraderie. Mira taught him ancient farming techniques, using her height to prune high branches and her knowledge to enrich the soil with forgotten herbs. Lena's laughter filled the air as she helped repair the roof, her strength turning grueling tasks into games. Kira shared stories of the stars, pointing out constellations that spoke of unity across differences. Jack, in turn, showed them modern tools, a tractor that eased their burdens, seeds engineered for bountiful yields. But beneath the harmony lurked tension. One evening, Kira collapsed in the field, her skin paling to a ghostly hue. The hearth mirror whispered urgently. "It's dying because we've hidden too long. We need a bond, a true sharing of life, to revive it." Jack understood now. Their initial declaration wasn't a threat but a plea. In their culture, sex symbolized a profound union, not physical, but spiritual, sharing one's essence to heal and grow together. The emotional climax came on a stormy night. Thunder crashed as authorities arrived, sheriff's deputies tipped off by nosy neighbors, armed with eviction notices and rifles. Monsters on the property, they snarled, flashlights piercing the rain. The giant stood tall but trembling, ready to fight or flee. Jack stepped forward, heart pounding. "This is my farm," he declared, voice steady despite the fear. "And these women are my family. They worked this land longer than any deed can claim. If you take them, you take me too." The deputies hesitated, surprised by his defiance. But it was Jack's next act that transformed everything. He led them to the grove, revealing the hearth. Drawing from Sarah's memory of selfless love, he placed his hand on the central stone, offering his own life force, not through magic, but through words of compassion. "We share this place. We build together." The stone glowed brighter, warmth spreading through the air. Mira, Lena, and Kira joined him, their massive hands enveloping his. The storm broke, and the deputies, witnessing the miracle, backed down. One even muttered, "Never seen anything like it," before driving away. In the aftermath, Willow Creek flourished. The farm became a beacon of harmony, where giants and humans coexisted, producing crops that fed the community and stories that inspired the nation. Jack found purpose not in solitude, but in connection. The three women, once outcasts, discovered that true strength lay in vulnerability, in accepting help as much as giving it. Years later, as children, both human and giant, played in the fields, Jack reflected on that fateful first night. Kindness, he realized, was the greatest power of humanity, bridging divides of size, fear, and misunderstanding. It turned strangers into family, despair into hope. In a world often divided, their bond whispered a timeless truth: when we choose selflessness, we don't just survive, we thrive together, lifting each other to heights we never imagined.